All right, I want to take a look at one of my recent throws. Here I'm throwing in the indoor track at Indiana Wesleyan University. I picked out this throw to analyze it because this is one of my best technical throws in a while. And it may not be the fastest throw, but positionally, I'm uh, I'm doing some things right. So I've been working really hard, specifically on left foot turning and the orbit of the discus. So those two things I've been working um, pretty much all summer on, and it feels good to finally see some results. So I just kind of want to take a look at those couple areas and see what I'm doing well and see what I can improve on. So again, I said I've been working on turning my left foot out of the back of the ring. So focusing on this guy here. And what I'm trying to do is as that heel moves forward, like you can see that, the left heel moving forward, to have that happen with my left arm um, being long and for the most part inside that left knee. So like a tendency for discus throwers is as we go crazy and want to get after the throw, that left arm as we get into the ring, moves this way, and so you end up leading with the shoulder as you go into the ring rather than leading with your left knee and dropping it. So in this throw, it's decent. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but that left foot's turning pretty smoothly. The left knee is dropping, and the left arm isn't way out in front. So that's something I've been working on, keeping my knees bent. If we look here, maybe a critique, watch that right leg. Watch this kind of have this curve in. So as that right foot is beginning to leave the ground, you see that my heel, the heel of my right foot is turning out before it comes off the ground. So that whole right leg has an internal rotation. And ideally, we don't want that. We want that right leg to be super strong and literally for it to come straight off the ground in this direction, which would maintain the wide knees. So my knees do stay decently wide, but I let that right roll in. As you can see here, it's rolling in, and what that's going to do is lessen the power I create with my legs out of the back of the circle. And also, when that right leg rolls in this way, the left is easier to get ahead and roll out this way, which you can see that my left does do that a little bit. You can see that there. But in general, I've been working on turning that left foot and keeping it turning longer. So a lot of times with the left foot, I turn and turn and turn, and then it kind of stops here. And when this stops here, my left hip breaks, and then I really end up going this way with my upper body. So um, although that right leg and left shoulder do lead the throw a little bit into the circle, I am turning my left foot longer than normal, and I end up going straight into the circle. So for the most part, if you watch, that's the direction my body's moving. So I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so the next thing is I've been paying attention to my orbit. And if you look at some of my throws from 2011, 2012, my orbit was really good. Probably one of the better things I had. So here is one of my throws from 2011. I was throwing at Western Kentucky University, and this throw was 61.04 meters, so just over 200 feet. And it actually was my first 200-foot throw in competition. And if you look here, I want to show you that my low and high point were one of the good parts of this throw. Boom. Let's watch that again. Boom. All right, so let's take a look. My low point is here. And look at this angle. Look at the angle here. So that's the discus. That was my low point. Look at that's good. That's a good low to high range. That gives good stability and great feeling. Boom. So that's what I'm trying to do now. If you look back to the last 3 years of my training, honestly, that's something I haven't paid attention to. I either had forgot about thinking about it, um, and then was worried about other things. And so this summer, I've been paying attention to my shoulders and then the path of the discus. So again, the discus will go from low to high as you go through the ring to throw it. And so I've been paying attention to where my shoulders are at, and to also pay attention where my discus is. So what we need, a good discus throw, not everybody, but 99% of discus throwers throw better when they have their high point back here and when their low point's down here, right there. And for me, in the last couple years, I haven't done that as well. My high point has just been mediocre. So this is a throw from the 2017 season, and this was 56 meters, so 56.43, I think, or 56.34, and this was the my farthest throw of 2017. And if you look compared to the 2011 footage, um, the high and low and the rhythm of the throw just isn't quite the same. So let's take a look at this. So low point is here, just probably fine. And high point is here, and not quite the same. If you look, I think the compared to the other throw, the angle was more like that. I think that's the reason I'm not throwing as far, but still a solid throw. Boom. So, anyways, I've been working on that, getting a higher. So, for me, if I want to get a higher high point, so if I'm looking for a high point up here, then I need to make sure my low point is exaggerated here. So that discus gets to the low point. So because the discus is like, it goes in opposite. So if it's low on one part of the ring, so if it's low here, then it's going to be high, and it's going to be high here. But if the discus it's just the way it goes. So it's just, if it's low in one spot, 180 degrees from that, it'll be high, and vice versa. So for me, if I'm trying to get a better high point, then I'm more exaggerating my low point. And so I'm doing that by thinking of, as I enter the ring, so here, I'm paying attention to where my left shoulder is. You can see my left shoulder is here. And I'm also paying attention to my right shoulder. Now I would say in this throw it isn't as exaggerated as I've been doing it. But if you look, my high and low, or low and high, is there. And then just look at the rhythm of the throw. When the orbit of the throw is correct, everything looks better about the throw. So although there's some imperfections with the throw, just look at the rhythm and smoothness. That's partly because of that orbit. And a lot of times, if you look at an athlete who just their throw looks a little bit off and it's hard to figure out why, typically it's because of the high and lows in the wrong spot. Um, so if you look at my history as a thrower, a lot of times um, I finish the throw by pulling on it. So what that means is, so from pretty much from here, from this point of the throw, my left shoulder takes over and starts pulling down, and my arm is doing that same thing. So what that causes when you get to the release point is maybe like a crooked position here. So the left shoulder's lower and the right shoulder's higher. And what you have is this kind of a yank at the end of the throw. And that's pretty much my history as in a finish. My strength as a discus thrower haven't been in my finish. It's been some other areas. So anyways, paying attention to my orbit and trying to stay keep the discus where it's at is working, because if you look here, you draw a straight line down, and if you draw from my shoulder to the discus, look at that. Like, I got a 90-degree angle here, and that's a huge improvement for me. So for me, like, the feeling of my throws are improving because I'm longer, and things are out this way rather than me pulling this way. So huge plus for me. So that's good. So like for me, working on my left foot and turning out of the back and being strong on it, and paying attention to my orbit and where my high and low should be, is giving me a stable finish. So if you look here, there's one area I can improve on, is when my left foot makes contact. See here, the left foot's made contact. My body begins to glide onto that left side. You can kind of see it. And there's proof of it right here. So if you look, the discus, how it's still in my hand, but look here, my right foot is up off the ground. So my right foot is off the ground, which means I'm not really working the discus anymore, and my weight has shifted to my left side. Now, it's not all completely bad because my left side is strong. That's fine. But I did miss some power because I didn't stay on my right leg. And so what I need to do is, although I'm turning my left foot better in the back, I need to work keeping my knees apart here. So again, like, pay attention to that right foot, have it come off this way. So if I do that, and at this point of the throw, let my left foot come off the ground sooner. So it's really important that this here comes off the ground as fast as it can, and then also left foot lands as fast as it can. So by doing those two things, working on that left foot, being careful what it's doing, will prevent me from gliding onto my left foot in this last part of the throw. That'll keep me grounded longer. It'll keep my right foot on the ground, so I can work that right foot, and I will throw faster and farther and have a stronger finish. And I mean, where I'm going to go from this point forward, I'm going to think of the same things. I might also try to pay more attention to what my right leg is doing. I need to get rid of that habit of having it roll in. That only hurts me. So if I can do that and get my left foot off the ground faster with keeping my orbit good, I'm going to be in good shape. So, if you like technical analysis videos and want to see more like this one, be sure to click up here to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to learn more about how I can help you throw farther, click up here to go to my website. And I'll see you on the next video.